do you remember feeling that fear when you decided to step away from, I'm assuming that you're no longer a paramedic,
Right.
but do you remember feeling that when you stepped into doing this full time, that you were maybe losing something that was going to be
I
important?
do. I do. So, luckily I was blessed, right? I had a safety net because while I was a paramedic, I was putting my wife through grad school, right?
Okay.
So uh she got her degree. She was a speech language pathologist. I have since retired her by her own choice. She wants to stay at home with the kiddos,
Nice.
and so she's able to do that now, which is amazing. Like
Yeah.
I love that I can do that for her. But when I was the solo, I was the breadwinner of the proverbial breadwinner of the family,
Right.
and I had to take a back seat. I did. I had to take a step back, and I knew paramedic wasn't for me anymore. Right? I did my 5 years. It's a very demanding lifestyle, a very demanding career, and so I said, I don't want to do this anymore. But here I am at yeah, well, let's see, I was 28, 29 years old, right? And it's like, this is all I know. I don't have any more education to fall back on. I don't have any more skills to fall back on. And so I just kind of handed the reins over to my wife. I was like, here you go. I'm going to let you run, you're steering the ship now, right? And she was like, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'm going to fix mixers. And it was, honestly, it's a funny story because when I first started telling people that, you know, I, I, I was like, I'm not going to do paramedic anymore. I'm just going to fix mixers. And some of my family was like, you really just need to go back to school and get your degree.
Right.
And some people were like, oh, that's dumb. Like that's not going to work. And I would just stay true to myself, right? And I just started doing it, and it was it was slow for a while. It
Mhm.
really was.
Sure.
But like I said, luckily my wife made enough to just cover our bills. I mean, we were still literally scraping by, like
Yeah.
skin of our teeth every month, but we were making it happen. And I just stayed true to that, and I just kept working and pounding away at it. And after about 2 years, 2 years of consistent work on myself, work on the business, and video production, right? So anybody who's watching this, make the videos. Just do it. It's honestly, it's life changing. Like people are so afraid to get up and speak in front of a camera or put themselves out there, whether that's fear of judgment or what they trust me, you're gonna get judged like you are. All I do is help
Mhm.
people. I do nothing. I don't put anything negative out there. I only help people, and I get some nasty, rude comments, but you have to understand that that is not a reflection of you. That's a
Right.
reflection of that person, right?
Exactly.
That person is unhappy. That person hasn't taken the steps to change their life so that they can be in a more positive state of mind, right?
Right.
And so make the content. You don't until you do it, you never know, right? And even if you only ever get 200 views your entire time, at least you can say that you tried something, right?
Right.
Like
And
it's the first step,
you're building a muscle
right?
that one of the things that I found for myself as I started making the videos and building the content is my ability to communicate my message got
Yes.
better. My message got more clear to me, which makes it really easy or much easier for me to communicate my message to somebody else. So
Yep.
one thing that you said, I just want to give you a chance to elaborate on that if you want. Um, the I'm going to just generalize and I'll call them haters. It's not haters necessarily, but you have
Sure.
the family members that say, that's a bad idea. You should do something different, or you should have the backup plan, or you should try something in addition to, or how did you continue to hold on to the belief that, no, I got this. I know it's going to be a learning curve, but I got it.
You know, I am the type of person like I have friends, right? But like I've always been like my own like I march by the beat of my own drum. And it's
Right.
like you guys can come with me if you want. I'd be happy to have you. But this is where I'm going, right? I'm not following anybody. I'm not looking for anybody's acceptance, right? And at one point in time, maybe like I felt like I needed to earn people's approval and things like that. But over time, as I've matured, it's like, hey, this is my life, right? This I need to make these decisions. And just because you don't think it's a good idea does not mean that it's not a good idea, right? And maybe it's not a good idea, but if you don't try, you're never going to know. And
Exactly.
honestly, you can't doubt yourself. You can't.
Right.
Because even if you fail, there is a lot of value and a lot that you can learn from failing.
Yes.
You can always try again, right? Take what you learned from your first failure and move it into whatever you do next.
Right.
And if you do that, you will succeed.
Yeah. I I love that because one of the things that I've learned is that when somebody comes up with the lack of faith or however you want to describe it, are you sure? Don't you think they're not telling me that I don't think you're going to make it. They're
Right.
telling me I don't think I would make it. They're telling me about their concerns about them.
It wasn't because they didn't want me to make it. They were afraid for me, right?
Sure.
They were afraid to see me fail.
Right.
They I chose a path that isn't typical, the
Yeah.
proverbial road less traveled, right? And um, anytime that you stray from the path, right, people are going to worry about you. And unfortunately, it's often those whose opinions you value the most and who are closest to you in life that offer those opinions to you.
Yeah.
And it is because they care, but I don't often think that they realize that sometimes, um, while they're entitled to an opinion, and while I respect their opinion, um, it is simply just that it was their opinion, and I remember my when I told my in-laws that I was going to be doing that, they were like, they didn't really say it, but they were looking at me like, how are you going to support our daughter fixing mixers, right? And I'm like, you just watch. And I've always been the type of person, like, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to work twice as hard to make it happen, to prove you wrong, like